You're live. Okay, so this is a new project. I worked on it most of the day yesterday, along with a couple other projects. And this is a couple that is going to be building a home on Fredonia Mountain, which is one of the many little mountains around Chattanooga and throughout the Appalachian Mountains, which I was born and have lived my whole life. Someday I'll escape to New Zealand maybe, or Ireland, but anyway. I thought it would be neat to go over the sort of morphing from Napkin sketch, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is the sketch that I was given from the homeowners, which is pretty cool. It was to scale. They have graph paper, and each one of our little blocks represents a foot, so it was a very good guide. But the problem is with these types of things is you don't have wall thicknesses. That's a disadvantage, and all of the rules of thumb that we use for circulation, spaces between other things, whatever. And so what happens is it goes from this to a version of that. Let me see which one's closest. I think this was the closest to the original version. So what we do is we start out with a two-dimensional drawing. As you can see, if I rotate this, this is cool. I had pulled in their terrain from Google Earth, which you can do in SketchUp, to see the grade changes, which is not very much on the site, which is pretty cool. But we start out trying to get this, two-dimensional plan, right? And I get it as close as I can. Then I make suggestions. We go back and forth. We play off of each other's ideas. And eventually you get to the plan you want to build, which is, I'm going to turn this one off now and go to this one. This is the one that we've pretty much settled on. And it's my Advantex showing through. I wasn't going to, dang it, I was going to leave that as a surprise. Good Lord, that's what happens in live TV. Let's see if there's anybody watching. I will check comments periodically. I am working, but I do like to see comments and answer them, or questions or whatever. So this is probably the third or fourth iteration of the plan, and it's pretty close, I think. Once it goes to 3 dimensions, things may change a little, but you want to try to get this as close as possible before you start doing real work on it. So I felt like yesterday I was close enough to start doing some real work. So what I did was I started working on the foundation, and this is start building it underneath that plan. So what I'm going to do is turn that off right now. I'm actually just going to go to this view I set up, this scene of the foundation by itself. And this is one of those jobs where I'm helping the owner build his own home. Okay, and that's one of the services we provide at atdrafting.com. We'll build the model as close to true life as possible, so that they can literally look at it. And this is a hatch of concrete block. It's not. I haven't actually drawn the concrete blocks. I may get an extension to do that. I'm not sure. But those extensions, when you start getting that much detail, it kind of bogs down your drawing work, your ability to do production. And so the idea here is just to show, how they would be laid out, but not necessarily show every block. And then what I could do is do like a typical corner, like actual blocks. That's what I'm going to do. I will eventually draw a concrete block and then use it and then show how to lay up the corners first. And my teeth are whistling. That's funny. And then, but the main point here is just to show, the components of the foundation. Your foundation vents, where they should go within 4 feet of the corner. You should have one on each corner. This gives good cross ventilation. And then they typically will cover, a foundation vent will cover about 150 square feet. So you take your square footage, which I think we're at about 1,300, 1,360, something like that. And you would just add the number. Of course, I've got the minimum, and on this home, the minimum number, which is 4 feet from each corner, takes care of the amount of square footage we have. On larger homes, you may end up having to put one in the middle. And if they want one in the middle, they can simply just put one. There will be a porch, a deck on this side, and a porch on this side. So let me turn off the grade for a second because I want to show you. Oh, speaking of the grade right quick, I like to get the grade information as close as possible so that we can show, when we start showing steps and things, it can be accurate. And if you don't show that, it can be misleading. You show 3 or 4 steps coming down off of a porch and it ends up being 10 or 12 and it ends up running out past the corner of a house or something like that. It just gets, frustrating for the owner. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to talk them into letting me see my surveyor up there and then laying out the corners of this house and then giving me the grade. This is what I do on all my projects that I build. I have my surveyor go out and lay out the corners of the foundation. Then he also takes elevations of those, so I know the fall of the land. But let's turn the grade off for a second. And I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have at least one step, which would be a 16-inch step. And that may change depending on the site. A lot of times your site will come over a level and then it'll drop off all of a sudden. So you may end up with a couple of steps in there. But this just gives an idea. I don't have the footings drawn yet. I just realized that I need to draw the footings next. But, this will show you how many courses of block you would have if we get the grade information, properly applied to this drawing. And then, of course, you've got your piers. This is the most affordable way to build this. Let's put our floor framing in. The most affordable floor system in the world, as far as conventional framing, is 2x10s at 16 inches on center. They'll span this 14 feet, so the width of your house will be 28 feet. And then you just put this row of bridging, which really stiffens up the floor. And then you've got your LVLs, 2 LVLs sitting on top of your piers. And these piers are typically between 7 and 8 feet apart, and you would just work with your supplier on these. Like Georgia Pacific has an engineering department. You can call them and say, I've got this span. I just happen to know, based on experience, that two 11 and 7/8 LVLs will work fine for this girder. So that would be that way, and that would be very simple. Plan and see, the owner is going to build this himself. So what I would do is I would work with him, showing him how. The other thing I need to do is show the anchor bolts in the foundation. I need to make a checklist here. And something for Medique, I'm requesting. That's my fella that I get the extensions from. He has a really good, and I use it for poured walls. And I'm just going to do a simple foundation here. He has a really good poured wall, and this actually has reinforcing in it and everything, but he doesn't have, and I know why he doesn't, because it would be a pain in the butt, but to have a concrete block foundation would be really cool. I'd be willing to pay good money for that, okay? If you're watching Nathan Wilkerson of, let's see, let me undo that because it might have put layers in my drawing. So the anchor bolts reminded me of that. So I'll show the anchor bolts and how to install that pressure treated plate on top of the foundation. And of course we don't want to break that plate in the middle of a foundation vent. It would just run over the top of it. And the other thing we need to do is decide, and we'll talk about this. I have a meeting with them this afternoon on my online. I have a online server, Artisan Meets. I don't know if I've showed that before. And we start our online meeting here, and I can screen share with them and talk about the project. And that's just a neat thing I set up a while back. Thankfully, before COVID struck, so it has really come in handy for being able to meet with customers. Of course, I do a lot of distance work. I do a lot of work really all over the country. And even done some drawings for people down in Puerto Rico and Guadalupe, and it just comes in handy. Anyway, where was I? Are there any questions, any comments? It's early on Sunday morning. I know people are not going to be up and watching. That's fine. I'm really honestly doing this to get this done so that the owners can watch this before we meet this afternoon, hopefully. So then you've got your floor framing. Now, a note on that, if I turn on my plan, my two-dimensional plan right quick, what I do is, let me just pop a line in here. I was able to see through the plan at one point, but now it's not I know what to do. I need to turn off oops. That's more than turning off, isn't it? Oh, I see okay, that's right, yeah. You see, what you want to do is, and I'll give you this dimension, Tom. I'm talking to my owner now, my homeowner. What I do is I have a layout, the joists are laid out based on the toilets. Okay, so I've got, that one works out good, and this one is close, but it will work. The 4-inch line will go right in beside that joist. So that's something you should do if you're building a home. Make sure your framer, and I'm always, especially on framing, I'm always there supervising the framing. So I'm going to undo that and then turn that off. Okay, whatever. Let's turn that off. So what that amounts to on this project is, I think it's a 12-inch, or was I able to get it to, I think what it is up here, the normal layout works, which I think we got lucky. Yeah, see, when you're laying out your joist, you come over 15.25, okay, and then you set a head. So you'd put your mark here, like that, then you'd set your X on there. When you're laying out, that's what it would look like, and then you set a head. The reason we say set a head is because, if you're just putting marks, your joist always goes ahead of that mark. Okay, so on this particular job, 16 inches on center, normal layout works. Up here on this top corner, up here, you always try to find a corner that's relative or easy to remember, and so that corner is the start of our layout. So then, oops, wrong button. What we would do is put our Advantech down. And where's our Advantech? Subfloor. And that's a good looking, that's the best piece of Advantech I've ever found in SketchUp. Now, I'm not going to even tell you where I got it either. It's a secret. I'm just kidding. So, and what you would do there is just, obviously start off with a full sheet. And this Advantech is self-spacing. Now, this is not 100% accurate. You know how 3D models are. They're not 100% accurate. This tongue comes in here and pushes against that groove and forces a gap up here, okay? So when you start running this tongue into this groove, don't just pound on it. Once you feel it seat, just quit pounding on it with your sledgehammer, because there will be a gap there, okay? And the other thing is, you don't have to start, if you'll start this sheet over a little bit like that, it'll go all the way. You'll have just a little gap on each end, okay? Because the sheets are not exactly 4 feet. And by the time you seat the tongue and groove, but if you do it right, you'll be able to get that 7 sheets wide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which gets you your 28 feet. And then you just, start out with a whole sheet, and then when you start the next row, you do a half a sheet, and so on. And you want to glue that down with construction adhesive and nail it really good. Sometimes we'll use screws, if I can talk my framer into it, but as long as you get that construction adhesive on there, it doesn't matter. You can nail it, it's fine. So that is it. Now, I know I interrupted myself. We need to figure out where the access door is going into the foundation. So we're going to have a deck over here. And if the foundation is high enough, which I kind of wish the grade was a little bit steeper, so I would like to put the foundation opening under the deck if it's not too low and it's not too much trouble. Because this is the end of the house you drive up on, and it's they're kind of ugly. There's really no way to make a foundation access door look pretty. So it would be nice if it could go over here, and we also need it to be on this low end where the floor is higher. So it would probably do away. You'd probably end up having to put a foundation vent in that door, which I've had to do before. It's no big deal, but it just looks different and strange, and it'd be good if we could put it on this end, or at least, over here on this end. But that would be slightly inconvenient. You'd be walking all the way around the house. The driveway comes up on this end, from what I understand. See if we have any questions. This is not private, is it? Okay, it's public. I thought for a second, one time I did a whole live stream and it was private the whole time, and I kept thinking, not one comment. Of course, I make these videos for the owners, so no harm done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to literally start. I need to get the exterior walls up. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm going to turn the subfloor off to make it easier to see. And I'm just going to use, for now, I'm just going to use my Medique extension, wall extension. And I think we're going to use let's see, 109. We're going to use 9-foot studs, and let's make this. And we're going to use 2x4. This house happens to be in an area where we don't have an energy code. It's out in a rural area, and they're probably just going to use an R13 in the walls. The house is going to be relatively, it's not small, it's a modest home. It's going to be easy to heat and cool, so we're not going to worry too much about the insulation requirements. Although they can certainly insulate the ceiling as much as they want to. So, and that's where you're going to lose most of your heating and cool, or your heating. Let's see, stud depth, 16 inches on center. Now, when we get down here, what I'm going to try to do with this is show the owner the sequence of building the walls, and the reason that makes the reason that matters in this extension is because I have to say what type of corners. So I want to start with an outside corner, and I don't want a California corner. I don't like them. I've got a video on that. I like the 3 stud block where the center, I'll show you, the center so-called stud is blocking. And so let's see what that looks like. I can actually change this. Well, duty 109.125. When you studs are cut so that your wall height is 1 inch and 1/8 taller. It usually ends up being 1 1/4 inches by the time you get all that stuff in there. Let's just start off and get us a wall going here, and then I'll show you how you can change it. Now, I didn't want that siding, so let's say for now I don't want that, or that. I just want framing for now. The other thing I realized too is, let's just delete that one. I need a line. I need a rectangle. Then this will make it easier on me. You want to set your wall framing back 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to set myself a line in here back 1/2 inch, and then let's turn off. Let's just delete the outside line before I forget. We'll go up here. There we go. Get rid of that face. And the reason for that is because you want your sheeting, you want your OSB to be flush with this band. On a typical wall, which is 8 feet tall, your OSB won't reach the top plate unless you set it on top of your subfloor. Okay, you don't want to put your framing, your wall stud, your wall framing flush with the band, and then have to lap and then the OSB stick out, because you'll have to come back and piece all that around here, and it's just it gets tacky. So what we're going to do is start over with our wall, and this time I thought the default was no advanced. There we go. So then we got our wall height, we got our 2x4s, and we got our outside corners. No California. I wish he would quit making that the default, because this is Tennessee and we don't do California. My framer actually does do California corners, and I'm always giving him a hard time. There we go. Now, you see how he has the wall starting off, but what you will do is you're going to build this wall, your long walls first, okay? You'll always start out with your perimeter walls and your 2 longest walls, which is usually, in this case, your front and back. And they will have a corner on each end. So what I need to do is go back and edit the wall assembly and go down here to see how it says end. It needs to be outside corner, okay? And this needs to be outside corner. 3 stud block, and I'll update that, and you'll see that it will update. And see, that's how, and this is how we build them. Most contractors in Tennessee will build them this way. Well, some have changed to the politically correct way, but the best way to build your corners this way. And where these blocks come from is you cut your jacks for your windows and doors first, and which we're going to put in next. There's a block left over when you cut those studs off, and you use those blocks for this corner. Okay, this is the best corner, and I'll show you. If you watch this whole series, you'll see that when you put your siding on, this gives you a lot better nailer than a California. A California corner only has 1 2x4 on the end. Okay, so I don't want to get sidetracked with all that political mess, but that's how it works. How it should work. Now you can see here now that I popped that line a 1/2 inch in, I've got a ledge here to set my OSB on. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to build that wall. Then we're going to come over, and of course you build that wall laying on the floor, and then you stand it up, right? And you can build it in sections. It's funny, I had a request for someone to show that. Obviously this extension doesn't show the plate length, but what I was going to do, it seemed like a simple thing, but maybe it's not that simple. Maybe I'll do a video on that, how you build this wall in sections. This owner might need it too. So what we're going to do is come back and we'll see if we can get our Medique wall, and thankfully all those things stuck except for the California corner. I'm going to go in there and file a complaint. Just kidding. Why the 3-stud corner won't stick, I don't know. It's like I'm being, there's some kind of conspiracy. Alright, so, and yeah, for some reason the outside corners aren't sticking either. So these two the point of this is that these 2 long walls will be the walls that have the corners on them. Okay. Yeah, outside corner, 3-stud. For some reason the 3-stud block is sticking at that. So you see your two longest walls on your perimeter, and I know all houses aren't rectangles, but it's a pretty common shape. And then what you would do is go back and build your shorter walls in between those, because what happens is, right, you're building them on the floor and standing them up. So you really have to do it this way. I'm just reminding people, or trying to teach people who haven't built before, the sequence would be your 2 long walls and then your 2 short walls, because see, they're laying on the floor in between these 2 walls, and if you had built this wall next, then this wall would have to butt into that wall anyway. So now we're going to just put, and obviously you would put your windows and doors and T's and all that in there. Now we can go back to, wouldn't you know it would stick. Now look, it's stuck on the outside corner now. Now we want this to be end. Okay. Update. And we're going to build this wall in between these 2 walls. Okay. And why did it push that? Oh, okay. That's weird. I've had that little glitch before. I don't know what that is. I'm going to regenerate that and see what happens. I used to literally draw these by hand, like I would, and it's really not that big a deal. It just takes another hour or so. Well, in this house, probably a couple hours. But when I got this extension, I was really excited. But it has these little glitches where Sometimes it'll do this. I think if I just regenerate the wall, it will go away. Nope. $46.11 feet. Let's see if let's see. You know what I have done before? I've changed the length of it. Let's call it 45 feet and then update it. Well, it's changing this end, isn't it? Let's see if it will. All right. Well, I need to talk to Nathan about that. It for some reason sometimes it adds this this stud on the end, and I wonder if that's because it's on layout. Well, if that's 16, no, it's more than 16 inches. Well, 16 3/4. So I don't know why it's doing that. If I go in and delete that, it will keep the wall from being a. See if I delete that. Can I regenerate the wall? Well, boy howdy, it stuck it back on there. So let's try one more thing before I move on. I'm going to try to rebuild the wall. I mean, it is easy to do. Just come in here and do outside corner, update. I'm going to go from here to here. Okay, now let's see. Hopefully it won't. If I put the corners back on. And this is not a criticism. Oh, good Lord. This is not a criticism of Medique, but you see, sometimes it's quicker for me just to draw these by hand. If I have to start screwing around with these little glitches that happen, and that's one of them. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to see if I can copy. If I copy this wall, and turn it around. Will I be able to put different doors and windows? And does that mean if I put a door or window, let's try to put a window in right quick. Well, I can't even put. Yeah, I can't. Okay, so let me close this. Let me save this drawing and close it and reopen it. Any questions? Dimensions, I'm late on the video. Oh, it's 28 by 48. I mean, the house is 28 by 47. And I'm having a little problem with the extension. And I'm going to try to take out part of this video and see if I can get Medique. Let's see. 109.125. 2x4. I meant to turn off the advanced for now, which is the OSB and all that, the insulation. Yeah, and then I want an outside corner. Okay. Update. So I'm a little frustrated right now, to be honest with you, because it keeps sticking this stud on the end, and it's just frustrated. So, not happy camper. What I'm going to do is, I know what Nathan's probably going to say. I should run the walls all the way around. Let's just try that. And let's just go from here. Wait a minute. Let's start out with no walls, no advanced. I just want to see the framing right now. And 109.4 outside. Okay. We're just going to try to run this all the way around and see what happens. See if I can keep it from glitching. I should be able to build one wall at a time. But I can see where he would say, well, just run your walls. But what about my interior walls? I need to be able to do those after the fact. And in real life, I don't do it this way. In real life, and you see, it just did it again. It just stuck that stud on the end. Tony's not happy camper right now. So what I'm probably going to do, see if I don't leave these, why is it doing that? I should be able to build these two walls. What is that? See the other thing it does? Sometimes it'll pop, hey, this is bizarre. Sometimes it'll build all this stuff out here by itself. So I may just go back to doing everything by hand, because honestly, I can make a stud. What I may do is just go ahead and put the windows in, and then not worry about this stud. Because see, if I alter this stud, if I alter this wall, then I know I can't put any. Now I'll show you. I can't put any windows in it because I've changed it from a. That's the wrong thing. Wall window. Well, I was, but see, it sticks the stud back on the end. I don't know why it does that. So what I may do is just go ahead, and if I knew that, I would have just kept going. So this is one of the problems with live TV is this kind of thing. Let's see if I have any more questions. Nope. So what I'm going to do, I didn't realize that I could wall outside 2x4. Okay, so I'm going to put this wall on here. Okay. And I'm going to edit it. You know, when you're trying to show the owner how to build something, this is the kind of stuff that gets in your way, and it really becomes a distraction. So hopefully this is not a distraction. Now look, now it's fine. Now let's see if this one will work. Let's see if I want to go put a door in it. Let's see. Let's say we want to put a door right here. Door. Yeah, right there. And let's undo that. What we want is two 2x10s. Built up on the bottom. And that's good. And then we'll put this right here for now. Yeah, that's good. And I've got some windows, so I just wanted to put that door in to see how that wall is going to act. So now let's put this wall in, because the whole point of this is that you would build these two long walls first, and those two long walls would be the ones that have the corners on them. You don't build your walls, you know, running around, you could, I guess, but that's not traditionally how it's done. And, you know, when you're trying to teach someone how something's done, it's a little frustrating to have an extension working against you. That says outside corner, 3-stud block. Block update. Okay, that's right. There we go. But the outside corners won't stick, so I'll have to go back and edit this. Outside corner, 3-stud block, update. There we go. Now that's what you would do, except all your windows and doors would be obviously framed in the wall before you stood it up. And then we'll build our end walls. Because this is the natural sequence. And these would have just ends, studs on the end of the wall. Because they nail into the corner. Now this is what happened last time. Yeah, you see, when I do that, let's try something. Wow, I said undo. Well, that's bizarre. I hit the undo button and the stud went away. Well, there you go. There's how to fix your glitch. Do undo after. I got lucky. Do undo after you. Let's see what happens on this end. Wall. We want end to end. Yep, that's right. That one acted perfectly. That's the way it should act. Just like that. And that's how you build it. Just like that. Except, yeah, this top plate will overlap. Let's see what it's doing. That's correct. He's got the corners of it in the extension. That's the whole purpose of a corner, is so that you can, well, part of it is so that this top plate of that wall can overlap this plate of this wall, and it ties the corner in. And the reason you use a 3-stud corner is because it's not really a 3-stud corner, it's a 2-stud corner with blocks. Is so that the corner, you get a nailing surface for your drywall or your wall finish inside each way. And you also get that, if you have a corner board on your siding, you get this stud to nail the end of your siding to. If you have a California corner and you have a corner board, there is literally nothing to nail the end of your siding to. That's what I don't like about California corners. I can come back in here if I just want to get anal about insulation. I can fill that with foam. But I'm about structure first and then insulation second. That's just, I'm an old timer. That's how I am. So that's funny. I just kept working with it and it's fine. So here we go. Medique for the win. See if I have any questions. Any questions? No questions. Okay, so they wanted windows in here, and what I should have done was put myself you know what I can do? I can move this back, about, 3 or 4 inches, so I can see now I can see the windows on my floor plan. And so let's put those in. And they like big windows, but so I'm going to use 36-inch windows. That's what is here. We want to use 2x10s with the plate on the bottom. I'll explain that in a second. Now, we'll just leave the header height the same for now. And we'll come over here and I can pick the center. And why is it not letting me put the window in? Okay, we're back to being hexed. Let's try this. We're back to being hexed. Window. Good Lord, what did I do? Did I corrupt my wall when I fixed the end stud thing? Let's see if I can put a door in this. Let's see if I can regenerate the wall. And then put a door in. I thought I had passed up the I thought I had gotten past the glitches. What's funny is the main thing I wanted to show him was the roof framing. So let's see if we can move on. And one of the options that he wanted to see was a scissor truss. So let's see if we can just get past the frustration of the walls for now. And I'm going to show him what a scissor truss would look like. So we would go from there, and I think I should be able to adjust the pitch and all that if my drawing isn't totally glitched out. And let's see, top core pitch we were going to do 8 bottom chord pitch. I wonder if we can get a 6 out of that. And you'll see why that's different in a minute. Bearing 3.5. Overhang is 24. Gable truss, gable end trusses. Yes. Okay, I'm going to say no to the advanced roof options now. I just want to see the trusses. Okay, see what that looks like. Yeah. This is what I was trying to show him, was how the scissor trusses have you have your normal pitch, which in our case is an 8/12 on the outside, as the normal roof, and on the inside you have, because it is a truss and it's free spanning, you still have to have a truss. You have this inner pitch, the inner vault, and so he's curious to see what kind of head height he would have from here to here, because he wants a 6'10". That's not bad. He wants to have a little loft for his daughter above her room. And so this was the main reason. I was really just trying to throw up some walls so I could show the vault. And I think what I'm going to do is actually save this drawing. Save. I may actually reboot my computer. But I can't do that with the live stream. I wonder if I rebooted my computer, if that would fix the wall. Let's see if I can put a window in. Let's see if I can put this door in this wall. Yeah, that one worked. Okay, so maybe, let's see here. Let's see if we can put this one in. Don't understand what happens to these walls. Let's save our drawing, and then we'll close this out, and then we'll reboot. We'll at least reboot SketchUp. I really don't want to have to reboot. And I mean, honestly, the extension is pretty fast if I have to reboot and then just redo the walls. It's not a huge deal, because it will still save me I'm clicking, and then there's a little bit of lag, like it's going to do it. And now surely being live or being live streaming is not affecting this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream here. I just wanted to be able to show the owner the basic walls and this roof, and I'll probably work on this some more offline and get it ready for them. But I'm a little disappointed, to be honest with you. Was hoping to get all the doors and windows in these walls without having this little glitch. Sometimes this happens, and see this weird thing. it did it again. It for some reason it builds these walls off at some point in space over here. You see, so it's like all these windows and doors that I've been putting in. It's been putting it in this make believe wall or this wall over here, and I'm over here. I'm working here and it's working over there. So somehow your drawing maybe gets corrupted somehow. Maybe if I delete that and then go back, let's try that. That might be, wouldn't that be funny if that was the fix? Just deleting that other ghost wall and then no, how much you want to bet it just created the ghost wall again? Let's hit this button. Yeah. You see what it's doing? I hit the, yeah. So, this is something for Medique. And I know, usually when I talk about these things with people, it's always my fault. So, we'll find out about that. Overall, the Medique extension, you can see how if I would have had to have drawn these trusses, it would have been a huge pain. So overall, and I rarely run into that little glitch. And probably what I might do is just since it is so easy, let's delete these walls, and then is there a way to wall tools. Is there a way to delete the data? Open. What is it? Global settings. So I wonder. There's no kind of database or anything like that, right? So it's just data in the drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the drawing. I'm going to close it out, and I'm going to look in the task manager to make sure that there's nothing funky going on there. Well, there's Cortana. Why don't we end that? Photos. End that. Let's see. I don't even know what that Nahimic thing. I think that Nahimic thing has to do with sound or something. Let's get rid of whatever we think might be giving us memory issues. Why does this... And see, this is frustrating. If you terminate a service, it should just go away, not come back and, stab you in the back. Let's see. And see, Cortana came back. Now, why does Cortana need to be? Why does there need to be two of them? You see, this is the. I probably need to reboot my computer, and that's probably what Nathan would say, because it hasn't been rebooted in a few days, and all the gremlins. You know how gremlins are. China sends out gremlins through the internet. Just kidding. Do we have any comments? No comments. People are bored stiff. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to run these walls around, and I'll worry about the corners later. And so let's make this 109.125, and then we'll make this a 2x4 wall. Update. And we're going to say no advanced options for now. Update. And we'll just run. Let's see. Where's my... Oh, okay. That's right. I moved that. So we're going to make sure we use that line, because that's the proper line. It's that line right there. I need to move the floor plan back, the 2D one. Now here's where I've been getting this this little gremlin. When I click on this point right here, is when I get the gremlin. It'll add a stud to the end of the wall. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just stop the wall here. Okay, and I didn't get the gremlin. And then I'm going to go check the length of this wall back here. It should be 27 feet 11. Yeah, because the house is 28 feet wide minus the ½ inch for the OSB. And the reason we leave a ½ inch is because when you have a material has a thickness like OSB is 7/16, it has a tendency just to swell up. It'll absorb moisture out of the air, and if you don't allow a ½ inch, it'll be by the time you put your siding on, it'll be hanging out over the band. Let's see if updating that. Hey, we didn't get our gremlin. All right. So I wonder if it'll let me change the. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to screw with the corners right now. I'll fix them later. But what I want to do is get the doors in. Let's see now if our doors. We want 2 2x10s for a header built up on the bottom, which means you're just going to take a 2x4 and put it on the bottom. That goes right there. That looks good. Good looking door. And then we got one over here. This one's going to be a 32-inch door. I'll fix that in a minute. And then we go back to the 36-inch door here. Alright, so that's our 3 doors. And I can simply just go to my wall tools and edit opening to make this a 32-inch. Just like that. That looks good. And I'll adjust the exact locations in a bit. But what I was trying to do is give them an idea on this back of some windows. Any questions? I'm trying to check comments, so if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Now what we're going to do here on this back, let's do this from the inside. They wanted, let me turn the roof off for a second. Let's put this, let's see, we already have a bunch of roof layers, so let's just turn off all the roof. There we go. So I had offset this plan so I could see the windows. Let's just go in here and see what a window, how we can, let's see, 36 by, let's make it 52. Let's see, 4'6" is 52. Because they wanted some tall windows, and we're going to see, oh shoot, I meant to change the header. I don't know why. The 2 2x10s with this plate on the bottom really should be the default header in this app, this extension. Okay, so that gets us there. Now your window and door height are going to be the same. Your header heights are going to be the same. So let's see what they've got. This actually should be like 6'10.5". Yeah. So that's what we're going to undo that window, and then we're going to check it. Window, 82.5. Because what you do is you cut all your jacks the same length. Okay. See? Because you want all your headers to be the same height. Now, what I was proposing was that this end one actually be a door, so that we got this, up and down, this sort of symmetrical. And what I'll do is when we're meeting, I'll show them that. But then we were going to have a window over here somewhere, so let's put that one in. And these locations will be, all the other stuff's thick, 82.5. 52. And then there was another one in the bedroom here. Like that. And probably what I'll do is I'll turn on the OSB, and that'll help them, which means I'll have to turn on that and then turn on, I don't want to see the siding right now though, so turn that off. Update. That'll help them get a kind of a visual on the windows. As far as the elevations. And that's kind of why I was wanting to put a door there, so this would be symmetrical. And now I'm realizing I can make these windows the same distance from the end, like that. And the other thing we were looking at was the symmetry on the front. So let's put this window in. This window is probably going to be more like a, let's see, let's put this window in first. And yeah, so see, let's see, did we get our, let's see. I didn't get the, I don't know why guess I need to save the, I thought the standard, some of the stuff saves and some of it doesn't. Like this, like my 2 2x10s and my built-up header configuration is sticking, but the height wasn't. So I'm going to close that. Now, these other 2 windows will be, one's going to be over the kitchen sink, so it'll be, these will be 3030s. So this will be 36. And that's correct, but this is 82.5. I need to check those those header heights on those others. And so there's a window right here, and then there's a window over the sink right there. And then what I'm going to do there is turn on advanced, yes. Let's see, update. I don't want to see the side. We're going to have like, I think we're going to have board and batten siding. There we go. And let's check these. Any questions? Thanks for sharing. Nice troubleshooting. Maybe the first error set off the rest. Yeah, I think that's what happens. Honestly, it could be a memory issue. Like, I mean, my computer's not even a year old yet, but I rarely, I rarely reboot it. And that's why I was joking around earlier saying that it could be my fault or something, because this extension does save me a lot of time. I mean, I literally used to draw this by hand. Of course, honestly, it's not that big a deal because once I draw a stud, I make a component out of it and I just copy them around. So, but I did used to spend hours and hours doing this stuff. But I do tend to spend that time, some of that time now, playing with, extensions, some of the glitches in them. So it's still quicker, even if you have to. Let's see, where's my 82.5? That's right. Okay, let's see how close to the floor these windows are. Yeah, about 30 inches. So what I was telling them is that they're in a rural area, but I don't know how, then they're really not going to have a building inspection per se. But if these windows get within 24 inches of the floor, you have to have those devices on your windows that keep them from opening more than like 4 inches, which is kind of silly, but it's a child protective issue. The house I just built and moved into, I had to put them on all my casement windows, and it was a pain in the patootie. So one thing I'm going to do is, I really didn't measure 4 feet and 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's obvious that I just plunked those windows in there. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is look at I think it literally might be easier. I have noticed, this is the other thing I've noticed, if I go into wall tools, I can say move. Let's see. Move window opening. I think it might be easier to delete it. Yeah, because I keep forgetting exactly how, if it's, let's see. Let me try that one more time. Move opening. Minus 0.25. See if that works. Oh, that went the other direction. Let me get out here. So I should have said plus. I can never keep up with which direction. Yeah, now it's a half. So I should have said plus. Oh, that makes sense because I drew the wall in that direction. Okay, that's what it is. It's the direction that you draw it is the forward direction. Move opening. Now I gotta say plus a half. Let's see, 0.5. 0.5. There we go. There we go, 4 feet. So let's check this. Let's put you might be asking me, why don't you just put a mark at 4 feet? Put a line there, and that's a good question. Let's see if I can do that and get by with it. I had trouble in one. Oh, I know what it is. I don't know what the actual dimension is. So I don't have a, let's see, well, if I had a reference mark at the center, then I would just use those two marks. Use your common sense, Tony. Window. Oh, I'm sorry. Wall, tools, move opening. That a baby. Yeah, I didn't actually select it the first time I tried to select it. Now, this is where I get anal. Maybe I should put those windows over the foundation vents. That's something I need to ask the owner. And right now I'm just trying to put them, at the same distance from the corner, and then we can manipulate them later. And that'll be a question for them when we meet. Because I could put I could put those windows over the foundation vents, which would move it. Let's see what that would look like. I'm going to put a mark right there, and then I'm going to put one in the center, and did I not grab it? Let's hit escape and we'll try that again. Something tells me I've got the sheeting turned on. It would probably be easier if I turned it off. Because I can't tell if I have the window selected or not. I'm just kind of guessing. So let's turn the sheeting off for right now. And then that way I can tell if I have my window selected. Okay, it's selected there. Why is it not? There we go. You just have to be patient and do it right. Let's do that. Let me turn off this. Let's see. Wall. Wall. Tools. Really, so what I just realized, it chooses the center of the window by default. You don't have to choose the first point. You just have to choose the point where you want to move to. So there's just a matter of education, isn't it? And I can't move this one over because we have the washer and dryer, but I can move this one over. So really all I got to do is put my reference point, and I think I am going to feel better if I turn off that sheeting, just because it makes me feel better. Let's close that. Open up this wall tools, wall move opening. Okay, so I'm getting good now. Getting good. And that's really, it's funny because the placement of these windows, if you're going to have a window that size, moving it to where it makes sense visually on the exterior is not a big deal, because you still have the same amount of wall space right here to put a chest of drawers. And then when you wake up in the morning, you can gaze outside or whatever you want to do. So I think all that makes sense. Makes some sense. Now we got a window over here. Where is it? Let's move our floor plan back. I think I moved it 3 inches so I could see. But let's move it this way, that many inches, so I can see the window. And we'll put a standard, that 36 by 52. That's all right. Oh, 82 and a half. Caught that in time. Header height. Update, and then I got that as a reference. Cool beans. And then there should be, I'm not sure about windows. Oh yeah, we were going to do a cool window over here where, let's see, let's move this back. Let's go back 6 inches. Well, it doesn't matter just so long as I can see the wall. I was going to do, I love doing this. I'll show you. This window in the bathroom, 36 by 16. And it's 82 and a half. Let's see how high that puts it. We might want to put it up a little bit higher. Let's say 90. See what that looks like. And what you do is you just put the window up above your tile line, or the line where it would splash, where you put it up high enough. As a matter of fact, if that's not 6 feet to the bottom of it, I would put it up higher. That is, 6'2". So the height of this window, and honestly, I think I make them 4 feet. The last one I made 4 feet, or maybe it was 42 inches. Let's do that. You want to just make it, and I think I only made it 12 inches tall. Let's see, wall tools, edit opening. So let's make it 42 and 12. And we'll bump it up to 94. What I might do is figure out how to just put the header right up against the, let's do that. Let's raise it up 1 3/8 inches. So what you're doing is, it's really nice to have natural light in a bathroom. Okay, I hate bathrooms. They're really so depressing without windows in them, without some kind of natural light. And this would just be a fixed window. So what did I say? 95 3/8. Update. Yeah. So you just push that header up against, well, what in the world? I wasn't paying attention. It didn't go up to 3/8. I wanted it to go up. Maybe it was 6/8 instead of 3/8. Oh, it didn't. Oh, what's that? Is it looking for a decimal? Where's my calculator, man? What is that? Is that 375? What is that? 3 divided by 8? Yeah, 375. I'm good, aren't I? There we go. It didn't take the fraction dimension for some reason. So that's going to be a good looking, and here you are, and that's above your head height, so you don't have to worry about water splashing. I've never had any trouble with water. If you get these up to the right height, yeah, that's almost 7 feet. And see, these walls are 9 feet. So that gets you a window in the bathroom. It looks cool from the outside too. And I'm not sure if we're going to put 2 windows in this small bedroom or not. You could put one, you could put one right there, but that'll be a question for them. So one of the things, let's see if I have any other questions. Hey Richard, how's it going? When I have 2 external walls and 1 internal wall at exactly the same point, how do I make the second plate? What's that now? When I have 2 external walls and 1 internal wall at exactly the same point, how do I make the second plate? Oh man, I wish I knew what you were talking about. When I have 2 external walls, okay, I'm assuming those walls are perpendicular to each other and not parallel. So they come to a corner, is that right? And then in 1 internal wall at exactly the same point. That sounds like a trick question to me. I think you're trying to trick me. Let's see. So that is that. Now, again, what I was wanting to do is put a door here. Not a door. I was wanting to buy a door leaf and put it in like a window. Okay, so it would look like a door. So that would be symmetrical because, I don't know. Everybody says they don't mind asymmetry, but I think as humans we just like symmetry in our lives. So that's that. Now what I am going to do is put this is going to be interesting here. These walls are going to be 8-foot walls on this end of the house because we are going to have a loft up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another wall type. See, if I was smart, what I would have done, and I am going to try to save this. This is going to be interior, and this is one kind of cool thing that Medique has done is that you can either build interior, a wall, exterior walls or interior walls. And then these are going to be 97, let's see. No, let's see. Yeah, 97 and an eighth, 97.125. And then there'll be 2x4s, and we're going to say no advanced wall. And I'm not going to worry about corners right now because I don't want to deal with glitches if there are any. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw this one to here. Oops. I almost screwed that up, didn't I? Let's see. Yeah, and I need to move this over a 1/2 inch because I draw the full thickness of the wall. Yeah, I'll draw the walls 4.5, and so that'll work. And then I'm going to draw one from here to here. Let's put the floor plan back. You know what I just did? I put that wall in the wrong place. Is my floor plan back in the right place? I don't think so. It should be right there. So that means this wall has to go over here. Go back a 1/2 inch, and then it's a 1/2 inch too long. I'm not going to worry about that right now because that little wall sticking out, so it's really kind of a random point anyway. So then I'm going to put this wall. Now everything is correct, Bob. I'm going to build a wall from here. We still got everything correct. Yep. It would be, just realized I don't have an exact point to snap to there. but I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, no glitches, no weird studs. Oh look, did it put the T in? Oh baby, now see, this is good. Good job, Nathan. Good job. It put the T in the wall. You see how it put the T in the wall? That's perfect. You just redeemed yourself, Nathan. I'm just kidding. I appreciate Nathan because he lets me have these extensions as long as I talk nice about him. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see what it does. Now, because these walls are different heights, it didn't put the T in this wall, which I can understand. Now, I can do that manually. It's no big deal. Right now, I'm just trying to show the walls. And we'll put this wall in. Oops. I keep clicking on the wrong extension, I think. There we go. And need to move that over a ½ inch. Like that. You see, because what's going to happen is there will be joists sitting on top of all this, and there'll be a loft there. And I guess really these are going to be 8-foot walls too. So let's put them in. Let's put this wall in first. Actually, I can just run these around. Let me put myself a reference point here. And I'm just going to draw these all at once. This is where, it's where the extension kind of shines on this kind of stuff, is that I should just be able to run these around. If you've got a line, a reference to do it with. Isn't that cool? Those are all the same. Oops. Move this over here. There we go. Let's see if I got any questions. So the external walls L and the internal are T. I'm from Brazil. Here we only build with masonry. Yeah, but I love the wood frame construction system. I'm trying to learn. I've had this problem in one of my projects. So are you using like an extension like I am, or are you just hand drawing? Let's see. So a T, internal completing the T. Okay, I'll show you a typical just out here. Well, it would be like this, where you would have a, let's see if I delete this wall right quick, if it would, the T stayed. I was hoping it wouldn't disappear. What you do is you take 3 studs. Now we usually use blocks so that we don't waste any material. And that's what I was saying earlier at the beginning of the live stream. What you do is you count your doors and windows, right? You'll count them. I got 10 or 12, 20 windows. You go ahead and cut this jack right here, okay? And then you'll have those blocks. And see how long of a block you'd have? You could get 3 blocks out of that one piece of scrap. And you would put those blocks in there, okay? You wouldn't use a whole stud. You can, but it's kind of a waste of material. you just use 3 blocks to space, because all you're trying to do is space out. You just want to space this out so your T is the width of the wall. See? So if I undo that, now you can see, and see the top plate. What you do is you cut these 2 plates back so that wall, the plate of the wall intersecting, can overlap, and then you're nailing through that into this plate, and it ties it in really well. And that's why you can get by with blocks in your T, because this is tying it together at the top, and then of course at the bottom your wall's nailed to the floor, and even the joist. If the walls that are running, perpendicular to the joist, you can nail the walls into the joist. But on this, and this is kind of neat, this is going to be a wood burning stove right here. So, let's see, did that answer hand? You're being cryptic now. Just kidding. So then we would have, we got our little bathroom wall. We're going to put it in. And we got this little linen closet here I stuck in, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to put myself some reference marks here. Interior, make sure I got the right wall. And that's really cool. How I don't know why it put the T on this side, but it didn't put the T where I started the wall. But that's okay. Again, I'm not going to complain, because it's still a lot faster than me having to do it by hand. There we go. It put the T in on both sides on that. See, put the T there and on this side. So that's good. So if I got to go back in later and put a T in, I'm not going to complain. Now let's put our doors in those, because then, and this is going to be a little office den area over here. So I don't know about the window in the back, if there's going to be a window there or in the bedroom. We'll find out. What I'm trying to do now is just get this into the house, and if I have time, I'll do the rest of these walls. But I want to show this. I'm going to put some joist on top of this and show the loft area. Now, see, the question will be, how far does the loft come out? That'll be interesting. Does it come out to just here? And are these walls really 9 feet tall? It's a predicament, isn't it? All right, so let's see what our common door size is going to be. I think I've got 2 2-foot doors, I know, so let's put those in. I've got a wall door, and it's going to be 24. And yeah, let's see what that looks like. Now, what we do on these two is we put, we don't do this. We run the header all the way up, so that the header height should be 7/8 of an inch higher, and I'll fix that let me fix it on the next one. So this is going to be, let's see, was that going to just be a cased opening? Let's fix that. While I'm thinking about the other thing, we'll fix this, and then we'll know header. 82 7/8. Wait a minute, 80. .875. There we go. That's what you would do. You push your header all the way up. Now, honestly, on these interior headers, we typically go ahead and use 2x10s for all our headers, just because once you, on a standard wall height, on a standard 8-foot wall height, if you use a 2x10 header, it kind of fills out the top of the door, and it gives you a rough opening that works, you know. So, but you don't have to use. And the problem is if you use like a 2x8 or 2x6 header in here, because this is a non-load bearing wall, then you have those little wimpy blocks above the header, and I don't like it. I'd rather just be all solid up there. Now, then I got a door right here. I think this is a 2-foot door too. Door 82, 87, 80 point. Was it 875? Yeah. This is 24-inch. Actually, I could probably get a little bit bigger door in there. Let's try a 2-4 door. I keep up with where I am. Edit opening. Let's make this 28. See what happens. Yeah, that's much better. That'll be a 2-4 door. I'm actually thinking about taking this wall out. What do we got here? We got .3'3" and a 1/16. I'm thinking about just leaving this out right here, but let's put a door in there for now, and then we'll worry about it later. Why worry about it now? Because I'm not sure if all my T's are going to get fixed. Let's see, extension, wall, door. Let's see, we're going to need at least 3 inches on 6 inches. So that would be 2'9", 35. Is that going to work? Is that right? No, that's not going to work. It would be 3'3". That's 3 feet. Yeah, it should work. But it's not. Maybe I mismeasured. 3'3". If you took off 3 on one side, that'd be 3 feet. And then if you took off another, that would be 2'9". So that's 34 inches. Wall edit. That doesn't look like it's going to make much difference though. Something's funky about this. Let's make it 32, see what happens. Something is not right. Oh, I know what the deal is. It's because of the T. Yeah, you got that extra stud in there because of the T. Split wall. Let's delete this. Close. Let's go in here and wall tools and delete opening. And let's split this wall. I wonder how that, I've never done this before. I've never used this function. What did that do? That was a mess. Oh my God. That was a mess. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that again. That was scary. So maybe I should look at the whole wall and figure out. This is something I'm going to have to figure out. Wall tools, split wall. Now that top plate, why would that not? Let's just split it right there and see what happens. Well, that, yeah, that's really glitchy. I don't want to do that. Let's just, I'm going to leave that, for now I'm just going to leave that opening. I know that's not right. It doesn't look right, but I'm just going to leave it for now. What I may do is make it, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to get this other door in here and get to work on this loft. I'm getting caught up in minutia now, aren't I? Let's see, this is going to be a 32-inch door. 82 or 80.875 gets my height right. Update. Yeah, that's good. That worked good. Yeah, I mean, what you would do is you'd put your jack right up against that. In real life, you would put that jack right up against that end stud, that end stud, but that's close enough for right now. When I actually frame this, I'll know what to do. It's just what I'm trying to do right now is project that, get that information to the owner, what's going to happen. So some of this is a little frustrating because sometimes I feel like we could actually build these things as fast as we draw them. But I'm going to leave this door 36 inches. And I'm going to try to find the middle. Does it not have a middle? Okay. So then our bathroom door would be it would be a 30-inch door, 2/6 door. Door, that would be 30. Okay. And some of this may be that I just need to make this little hallway a little bigger. I think I do. I think that's going to be, but see, that's why I like to do framing drawings, to remind myself that I've got that extra stud in there. I can't just say I've got a jack. I mean, you can do that. If this is a cased opening if there's no trim around this and they're just going to wrap this with drywall, you can make your king stud that stud. Okay, so this would move over 1.5 inches. Okay, so this opening would be bigger, and it will be. I'm not going to leave that there. So in real life, when I'm framing this, I'll fix that when we're actually. Well, I think the owner's going to build this himself, but I'm just saying, I'll fix it. I promise. Now, let's see if there's any other questions. Keep up the amazing work. Oh, thank you. I've followed your channel for a while now because it helps a lot, and you do pretty much what I like. Thank you. Thank you, Armageddon Games. It helped because when I walked in the books, they make external walls first, and then internal ones. Looking on it, yeah. Only when I had these 2 external walls and the internal one coming out of these external ones, I couldn't lock. Thank you. Well, thanks for watching. Oops, wrong button. So, let's get rid of some of these reference lines here. And what next? Now, I think what I'm going to do is build a little floor system over this. So what I'm going to do is make myself a reference for that. I'm going to put this, over here. And then when I'll be coming from there, let's see, what am I going to do here? I need to come down here too and put one coming this way, like that. And because I go from one corner to the next, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. My wife's making noise in the kitchen. Thanks, honey. So what I'm going to do is make another cool thing about. Well, this is one thing I didn't think about, and I just thought about it because it's showing up now. This window needs to be shorter. So this is what happens. This is why you plan your projects out in SketchUp before you start building them. Edit opening. Because I forgot these walls are going to be 8-foot walls. So what we want to do is move that down at least 6 inches. So we want to just make it 90, I think. 90. Which is where I had it to begin with, if you remember. But that still puts it above where you have to worry about getting water on your windowsill. Yeah, 6'6". That's above your head, unless you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, so that's good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is build us a loft. Now, I can't remember if the loft was the whole. I can't remember if the loft was just. I think they changed it. It used to be the loft was just going to be over this part above her room in the bathroom, but I think they actually said do the whole end. So we're going to show that. We're going to show 2. We're going to do 2 different ones. That way I can show options. We love options. Truss. What's cool about this floor truss is that you can actually do lumber floor. Rectangle, okay. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to go over to this other reference point. Oh, let's see. No, I got to go over here first. There, and then bring it over here. Right there, okay. So joist depth. Yep, 925. Joist width. Rim board. Yes, it's not a rim board though. 16 inches on center. Advanced, let's say no. Well, let's say yes. Well, let's say no for now. And okay. I was afraid it was going to do that. Should have said no to rim board. And now I'm realizing, no, that's right. That would be right. Let's see if I can fix that, or if I just say, let's see. It's not going to let me edit it? Well, boogers. We'll just do it again then. Let's say, let's see, truss, floor truss, lumber, which is cool. Floor outline, rectangle. Where am I? There. And no, we don't want a rim board. I see you notice when I first saw that rim board, that's kind of it alludes that you're using a certain material. So it should just be framing. There we go. That's the way it should look. Now, the problem is you are going to have a band. There will be a header joist. But for now, this is just really just to show them what the loft would look like. Now we should be able to edit that, and I'm not sure what's going on. It's not letting me edit that. But now these joists would be broken. If you'll notice, I actually, this was back when I used to hand draw. I took this off of another job, and I had to alter it because of the size of the floor was different. But I actually drew these joists, you see, and they're accurate because they have ends and they lap. You see how they stop and then they have to offset. Well, this is not accurate because you're not going to buy, especially in today's climate with lumber supply the way it is. You're not going to find 28-foot floor joists. So what you have to do is they would break over this wall right here, and probably this one too. So it depends on what lengths of lumber you get. But see, that's going to create a little loft. Now that's one option, and we're just going to move this back. The thing about it is, let's create one that does have floor decking, and then I can turn it off, because I don't know why it's not letting me edit it. Floor truss, lumber, rectangle. Okay, let's go over here. And what I'm going to do too is I'm going to go ahead and tell it to do a rim board. Well, no, I'm not. I don't need it for right now. No, let's say no to that. And then, where's my, yeah, we're going to say advanced floor options, yes. And sheeting, yes. 3/4. Steel plate, no. Okay. There we go. And that'll just show the whole platform, the way it would look. And now I wonder if it'll let me edit it now. No, I'll have to reboot again. All right, so I'm going to move this one out of the way now. And we're going to move it 30 feet. Remember that. So now I'm going to do one just over this. Wall truss for lumber rectangle. Okay. From here. Now see, if I don't say rim board on this one, it's not going to put it. Oh wait, it's not going to put the ends on. Let's see if it will. Sill plate, no, we don't want to. That would be if this floor was on top of a foundation. Are you leaving, Mama? All right, be careful. My wife's going on a trip. So you see, if you don't say put a rim board on it, it'll leave the joist open. Now I'm really kind of wigged out that I can't edit that, because you typically can go in and edit it and add it. You can, turn on the advanced options, but I'm not sure what's going on with my computer. I am going to, any other questions? I'm going to look at that. So then the question becomes, what happens to this area? And if we turn the roof back on, roof framing, roof truss, there we go. And that shows you what kind of loft you would have in there. I think what I'm going to do too is find out why. I should be able to edit this truss. You see, when you click on these assemblies, you should be able to edit them. And for some reason, I'm not able to edit those floor assemblies. Let's go in here. What we want to do is turn on yes. Let's see. What we want is our gable end. Let's turn that off for now. And let's turn on Gable Overhangs 24. That's what I was looking for. Gable Overhang. Let's update that. I don't want that hip. Why is my gable end not coming on? Sheeting, gable wall, sheeting wall. Subfacing, yes. Subfacing, breakboard, yes. Gable. Set gable overhang, yes. Is that on the other end? Nope. I'm going to turn this off right quick. No, that's off. Why did it have... Let's turn this off. Gable wall cladding. Let's turn this off for now, because I want them to be able to see. But I am surprised why I'm not getting... It says gable overhang, yes. I mean, it says breakboard, yes. 24 inches, I've got it. Gable inches, trusses, gable stud, advanced. Overhang left, overhang right. Should be and this is where I get caught up in minutia again. Getting caught up in minutia. Rake board depth should be 3.5. And I may just have to redraw. Because it says roof cladding too, and it's not going on either. So what I may do is cable wall cladding. No. This is going to be good enough for now. The main thing is, and it's probably okay that it's not there, is that I want them to be able to see, if you're standing here, how much room you've got. So I could measure from here down and lock that on the blue axis. There's 7 feet there. That's pretty good. And of course, it's a I don't know how old she is, but she's younger. And there would be a ladder on this end to get up there, or there would be a ladder, somewhere else out here if you use the whole thing. So I think this is going to be where I stop on this one. I'll do another one. I'll do a follow-up video, and I may talk about some of the little glitches I ran into. I'm probably going to redo this roof to see if I can get the overhang. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to make one attempt to do this roof again. And then if that doesn't work, I'll figure that out. I'll try to figure out why it didn't work. So let's go to trusses, roof truss. We want a scissor truss. We go from here to there to here, and we've got an 8 and a 6. That's stuck. That's good. All this stuff is correct. Overhang. Yes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to advanced options. Truss spacing, gable end trusses. Let's see, gable end trusses. Yes. Gable studding. Yes. Okay. Now this is odd because I didn't get this screen before, and so maybe this will fix it. So we want to do. We'll go ahead and let it do the cladding because I can turn it off. I'm not going to change anything unless I have to here. But I do want to get my gable overhang. It says right there, 24 inches. Yes. This is right. So let's say submit advanced. There we go. Now, why is my... You know what it might be? It might be because I'm using the scissor trusses. I don't know. Let's do one out here, and we'll use a standard truss. Okay, truss, roof truss. We'll pick standard truss, and we'll just do it out here. And 412. You see, here it's the 24. And okay, and gable end truss, gable end, yes. Okay, and it says gable overhang 24. Okay, Let's update that. Right. And for some reason, I'm not getting my Gable Overhang. So there should be, and I've used this extension before, so I know it does it. There should be an overhang here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to reboot my computer. And if it doesn't work, I'll shoot it with my AK-47. I'm just kidding. That's the wrong button. So I'll check for comments right quick. If there are any comments, because I have used this extension, and now I'm really starting to think that, you know what, he did have some, and see, this tells me, see how this is doing this? I may need to reboot my computer because they have some memory stuff going on here. I think I've been hacked by the Chinese, but I'm going to reboot my computer. And I wish I could reboot my computer. Can you reboot your computer while you're live? Would that be funny if it came back? Well, anyway, in part 2 of this, I'll explain everything. But I want to thank everybody for watching who did the long, laborious live stream. And I've got to meet with the owners this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So I've got to get some of this fixed and ready to meet with them. But thanks everyone for watching. I know it's painful sometimes, but I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.